Hey Stardust, thanks again for joining me for another reading. Today we're going to be reading the very beginning of Falling Out of Time by David Grossman, translated from the Hebrew by Jessica Cohen. Please do me a favor and double check the content warnings in the description. Hold on to your hearts. As they sit eating dinner, the man's face suddenly turns. He thrusts his plate away. Knives and forks clang. He stands up and seems not to know where he is. The woman recoils in her chair. His gaze hovers around her without taking hold, and she, wounded already by disaster, senses immediately, it's here again, touching me, its cold fingers on my lips. But what happened? She whispers with her eyes. Bewildered, the man looks at her and speaks. I have to go. Where? To him. Where? To him, there. To the place where it happened? No, there. What do you mean, there? I don't know. You're scaring me. Just to see him once more. But what could you see now? What is left to see? I might be able to see him there. Maybe even talk to him? Talk? Now they both unfold, awaken. The man speaks again. Your voice. It's back. Yours too. How I missed your voice. I thought that we never. I missed your voice more than I missed my own. But what is there? There's no such place. There doesn't exist. If you go there, it does. But you don't come back. No one ever has. Because only the dead have gone. And you? How will you go? I will go there alive. But you won't come back. Maybe he's waiting for us. He's not. It's been 5 years and he's still not. He's not. Maybe he's wondering why we gave up on him so quickly, the minute they notified us. Look at me. Look into my eyes. What are you doing to us? It's me, can't you see? This is us, the two of us. This is our home, our kitchen. Come, sit down. I'll give you some soup. Lovely. So lovely. The kitchen is lovely right now, with you ladling soup. Here it's warm and soft, and steam covers the cold window pane. Perhaps because of the long years of silence, his hoarse voice fades to a whisper. He does not take his eyes off her. He watches so intently that her hand trembles. And loveliest of all are your tender, curved arms. Life is here, dear one. I had forgotten. Life is in the place where you ladle soup under the glowing light. You did well to remind me. We are here and he is there. And a timeless border stands between us. I had forgotten we are here, and he... But it's impossible. Impossible. Look at me. No, not with that empty gaze. Stop. Come back to me, to us. It's so easy to forsake us, and this light, and tender arms, and the thought that we have come back to life, and that time nonetheless places thin compresses. No, this is impossible. It's no longer possible that we, that the sun, that the watches, the shops, that the moon, the couples, that tree-lined boulevards turn green, that blood in our veins, that spring and autumn, that people innocently, that things just are, that the children of others, that their brightness and warmness. Be careful. You are saying things. The threats are so fine. At night, people came bearing news. They walked a long way, quietly grave, and perhaps as they did so they stole a taste, a lick. With a child's wonder they learned they could hold death in their mouths, like candy made of poison to which they are miraculously immune. We opened the door, this one. We stood here, you and I, shoulder to shoulder, They on the threshold and we facing them, and they, mercifully, quietly stood there and gave us the breath of death. It was awfully quiet. Cold flames lapped around us. I said, I knew tonight you would come. I thought, come, noiseful void. From far away I heard you. Don't be afraid, you said. I did not shout when he was born, and I won't shout now either. Our prior life kept growing inside us for a few moments longer. Speech, movements, expressions. Now, for a moment, we sink, both not saying the same words, not bewailing him for now, but bewailing the music of our previous life, the wondrously simple, the ease, the face free of wrinkles. But we promised each other, we swore to be, to ache, to miss him, to live. So what is it now that makes you suddenly tear away? After that night, a stranger came and grasped my shoulders and said, save what is left. Fight. Try to heal. Look into her eyes. Cling to her eyes, always her eyes. Do not let go. Don't go back there, to those days. Do not turn back your gaze. In that darkness I saw one eye weeping and one eye crazed. A human eye extinguished and the eye of a beast half devoured in the predator's mouth, soaked with blood, insane, peered out at me from your eye. The earth gaped open, gulped us and disgorged. Don't go back there, do not go, not even one step out of the light. I could not, I dared not look into your eye, that eye of madness, into your nothingness. I did not see you. I did not see a thing, from the human eye or the eye of the beast. My soul was uprooted. It was very cold then, and it is cold now, too. Come to sleep. It's late. For 5 years we unspoke that night. You fell mute, then I. For you, the quiet was good, and I felt it clutch at my throat. One after the other, the words died, and we were like a house where the lights go slowly out until a somber silence fell. And in it, I rediscovered you and him. The dark mantle cloaked the three of us and folded us with him, and we were mute like him, 3 embryos conceived by the bane, and together we were born on the other side, without words, without colors, and we learned to live the inverse of life. See how, word by word, our confiding is attenuated, macerated like a dream illuminated by a torch. There was a certain miracle within the quietude, a secrecy within the silence that swallowed us up with him. We were silent there like him. There we spoke his tongue. For words. How does the drumming of words voice his death? In the hush that follows her shout, the man retreats until his back touches the wall. Slowly, as if in his sleep, he spreads both arms out and steps along the wall. He circles the small kitchen around and around her. Tell me about us that night. I sense something secret. You are tearing off the bandages so you may drink your blood, provisions for your journey to there. That night. Tell me about us that night. You circle around me like a beast of prey. You close in on me like a nightmare. That night. You want to hear about that night. We sat on these chairs, you there, me here. You smoked. I remember your face came and went with the smoke, less and less each time. Less you, less man. We waited in silence for morning. No morning came. No blood flowed. I stood up. I wrapped you in a blanket. You gripped my hand, looked straight into my eyes. The man and woman we had been nodded farewell. No, wafted dark and cold from the walls, bound my body, closed and barred my womb. I thought, they are sealing the home that once was me. Speak. Tell me more. What did we say? Who spoke first? It was very quiet, wasn't it? I remember breaths and your hands twisting together. Everything else is erased. Cold, quiet fire burned around us. The world outside shriveled, sighed, dwindled into a single dot, scant, black, malignant. I thought, we must leave. I knew. There is nowhere left. The minute it happened, the minute it became, in an instant we were cast out to a land of exile. They came at night, knocked on our door and said, at such and such time, in this or that place, your son thus and thus. They quickly wove a dense web, hour and minute and location, but the web had a hole in it. You see? The dense web must have had a hole, and our son fell through. As she speaks these words, he stops circling her. She looks at him with dulled eyes. Lost, arms limp, he faces her, as if struck at that moment by an arrow shot long ago. Will I ever again see you as you are, rather than as he is not? I can remember you without his nunness, your innocent, hopeful smile, and I can remember myself without his nunness, but not him. Strange, him without his nunness I can no longer remember. And as time goes by, it starts to seem as though even when he was, there were signs of his nunness. Sometimes, you know, I miss that ravaged, bloody she. Sometimes I believe her more than I believe myself. She is the reason I take my life in your hands and ask you a question I myself do not understand. Will you go with me, there, to him? That night I thought, now we will separate. We cannot live together any longer. When I tell you yes, you will embrace the no, embrace the empty space of him. How will we cleave together, I wondered that night. How will we crave each other? When I kiss you, my tongue will be slashed by the shards of his name in your mouth. How will you look into my eyes with him there, an embryo in the black of my pupils? Every look, every touch will pierce. How will we love, I thought that night. How will we love when in deep love he was conceived? The moment it happened. It happened? Look at me. Tell me, did it happen? And it billows up abundantly, an endless wellspring. And I know, as long as I breathe, I will draw and drink and drip that blackened moment. Morning condemns the living to the grimmest solitude, much like the loneliness in which disease enclothes the ailing. But in that loneliness where, like soul departing body, I am torn from myself, there I am no longer alone. No longer alone since. And I am not just one there, and never will be only one. There I touch his inner self, his gulf, as I have never touched a person in the world. And he also touches me from there, and his touch, no one has ever touched me in that way. If there was such a thing as there, and there isn't, you know, but if there were, they would have already gone there. One of everyone would have got up and gone. And how far will you go? And how will you know your way back? And what if you don't come back? And even if you find it, and you won't, because it isn't, if you find it, you will not come back. They will not let you back. And if you do come back, how will you be? You might come back so different that you won't come back. And what about me? How will I be if you don't come back? Or if you come back so different that you don't come back? She gets up and embraces him. Her hands scamper over his body. Her mouth probes his face, his eyes, his lips. From my post in the shadows outside their window, it looks as if she is throwing herself over him, like a blanket on a fire. That night I thought, now we will never separate. Even if we want to, how can we? Who will sustain him? Who will embrace if our two bodies do not envelop his empty fullness? Come, what could be simpler? Without mulling or wondering or thinking, his mother and father get up and go to him. In whose eyes will we look to see him, present and absent? In whose hand will we intertwine fingers to weave him fleetingly in our flesh? Don't go. The eyes, one single spark from his eyes. How can we, how may we not try? And what will you tell him, you miserable madman? What will you say? That hours after him the hunger awoke in you? That your body and mine like a pair of ticks clutched at life and clung to each other and forced us to live? If we can be with him for one more moment, perhaps he too will be for one more moment. A look, a breath, and then what? What will become of him and of us? Perhaps we'll die like he did instantly, or facing him suspended. We will swing between the living and the dead. But that we know. 5 years on the gallows of grief. The smell from your body when your anguish plunges on you, lunges. The bitter smell in which I always find his odor too. His smells. Sweet, sharp, sour. His washed hair, his bathed flesh. The simple spices of the body. The way he used to sweat after a game, remember? Burning with excitement. Oh, he had smells for every season. The earthy aromas of autumn hikes, rain evaporating from wool sweaters, and when you worked the spring fields together, odor from the sweat of your brows, the vapors of working men filled the house. But most of all, I loved the summer, with its notes of peaches and plums, their juices running down his cheeks. And when he came back from a campfire with friends, night and smoke on his breath. Or when he returned from the beach, a salty tang in his hair, on his skin, the scent of his baby blanket, the smell of his diapers when he drank only breast milk, then seemingly 1 moment later, the sheets of a boy in love. Sometimes, when we are together, your sorrow grips my sorrow. My pain bleeds into yours, and suddenly the echo of his mended, whole body comes from inside us. And then one might briefly imagine, he is here. I would go to the end of the world with you, you know. But you are not going to him. You are going somewhere else, and there I will not go. I cannot. I will not. It is easier to go than to stay. I have bitten my flesh for 5 years so as not to go. Not there. There is no there. There will be if we go there. She looks away from him. They are distant as though he is no longer here, on this side. He takes a deep breath, inhaling the small kitchen and the entire house and her face, her body. Then he straightens up. As he walks past, his hand rests briefly on her waist, barely touching. He leaves the house and shuts the door behind him.